Hello and welcome to Gamersledge Podcast. Come on in, sit down, relax, have yourself any drink of your choice, because I'm not drinking anything right now except water. My name is Mark. Stop, you charlatan. Yeah, thank you.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I saw that happening.
Yeah, I saw it happening too. I was trying to stop it. I couldn't find the button. My name is Mark. I'm one of your hosts for Gamersledge Podcast. Joining me this week, the man who is his own portable rave, it's Dave.
Hey, you never called me first. Hi.
Next to him, all the way from Wisconsin, it's Matt. I don't know why
Howdy.
I called out your state, but sure, why not?
I don't know. Apparently, because nobody knows where it is, so it's not a threat to me.
And then joining us from the Canadian Witness Protection Program. Oh, she left. She's gone.
Derp.
It's Kate. She'll
Thanks,
probably
Rabbit.
rejoin. Yeah, here in a second. Oh man, we did not do podcast last week because I was almost dead, and Matt's like, we could just not do a podcast, and I was like, okay, and Dave was like, who are you? Where's Mark? But I was.
Yeah. That's when we knew you were sick.
Yeah, no, I was.
You were sick. I was just tired. I was bailing last week no matter what, so I was really in camp. Please let's nap instead.
Yeah. So yeah, I had pneumonia and bronchitis, and my voice still is not where it should be. So
How do you do that in San Fran? I thought like that was impossible to get that kind of sick out there.
So my wife is very talented in getting that sick, and I was taking
that's
care
not
of
cool
her.
blaming her.
No, because she's trying to actively kill me. I was taking care of her, and then she tried to kill me and gave it to me.
I told you, don't tell her about that insurance policy.
I know. As soon as I told her about the insurance policy, she tried to kill me. So yeah.
Never be worth more dead than alive. Or if you are, just don't say anything.
On a steel horse I ride.
I've been everywhere.
Yeah. Seen everything. With a six string on my back. Yay. So let's do as we always do, besides making Dave sigh in that way that makes me pleased. Let's go around the room and talk about what we've been playing for the last couple weeks since our last show. And let's start all the way on the far right with Matt. Matt Attack.
Ooh. I used virtual paper this time.
You used virtual paper. Who are you?
Sacrificing the
done?
electrons.
What have
Well,
you done?
I could show you the mess that's on my floor right now, but I don't want to.
Bad, Matt. Bad.
I reattacked the comic organization project, and I just barely made enough space so that I could close those doors so that you couldn't see what's going on inside there. So yeah, it's kind of a mess. But
you know what's funny, and I have to point this out, and I do have to interrupt you for it, and I'm sorry. But you have been doing the comic organization project since before I met you.
This is true. This is the furthest it's ever gotten, though. I'm to like 2016 now. This is getting real here.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen once you finish it, right?
I'll stop and then I'll just stack up and pile up again.
No, you'll have to go back and reorganize everything all over again because times have changed.
Yeah, you'll be like, I think I need to do it by when I actually started collecting.
Organize them by artist instead of...
Yes, that's exactly correct. Yes.
Yeah, no. The boxes that are downstairs on the steel shelf will only be touched if I need a book out of them for some reason, or if I get some gap fills so that I can put them where they go. All right. So on the video game front, still playing Witcher 3 in the Blood and Wine expansion. That is a whole thing. That is a game in and of itself. That could be like a standalone game, and most people would be fine paying $50-$60 for it. It's huge. I tried out the new sort of Jackbox-esque game that Sony dropped for free for Plus members called That's You. Played that with the boys. a couple nights after it came out. It's pretty fun. It's definitely it's set up to be played in a room. You know, everyone in a room. There is an online mode. I haven't.
As opposed to not. Sorry.
Well, as opposed to how we normally play the Jackbox, right, where it's strewn across the universe.
Oh, okay. So you're talking like local couch co-op.
Yeah, it's a local co-op. That's how it's designed. There is an online mode, but I hadn't tried it out, so I don't know how it plays. You definitely not something you want to just kind of randomly pick up with people you don't know, because there's a lot of selfie taking involved. And yeah,
No, you're not dissuading me here.
Hey, that's up to you. You never know what you're going to get a selfie of. That's all I can say. But yeah, it was pretty fun. It's basically it plays best if it's, because there's no same answer. So it really kind of plays into how well you know the people you're playing with. Otherwise, it's just hilariously ridiculous as you play with people you don't really know and you just be guessing randomly. I've been playing actually quite a bit of Don't Die, Mr. Robot, because it's stupid little thing that came out with the plus for this last month. And yeah, you can just play a couple of rounds and then put it away and come back later and play another couple of rounds. And it's just short, quick, easy to pick up. And then Rock Band 4. Oh dear.
Excuse me.
There's a baby elephant in his room. Oh, yeah, there you go. But did not make it to the next tier this last week. I don't know if we'll make it up another tier or not. The went from being pretty high up, pretty easily on, and to playing a ton and being like 15%. So, and you need 70 to progress. So,
so if you were gonna make a dessert out of what you didn't get in Rock Band, would it be a tiramisu?
Dude, really? Already? Jeez.
We already made Kate leave once. Do you want to leave again?
We are tempting fate here with that. Yikes. So the next one starts up here tomorrow. I forgot the theme already. I just saw it on Facebook. I don't remember what it was, but long songs. Yeah, that's what it is. It's songs over 4 minutes, I think.
Oh, so like that song Lola?
Stop kicking the baby elephant. On the TV front, we have quite the list. We have Shadowhunters, Dark Matter, Killjoys, Broadchurch Season 3, Preacher Season 2, the finale of Doctor Who Season 10, Voltron Season 2, Castlevania, Flash Season 3, Attack on Titan Season 2, and random episodes of Steven Universe.
So you finished Flash?
No, we're like episode 5.
Oh, okay. I thought you said these were things you finished.
No, not finished. I tried to call out if it was finished. All those are in the middle. Doctor Who finale and all of Season 2 of Voltron and all of Season 1 of Castlevania, if you can really call that a season. The prologue movie that was broken into... Yeah, but those are like an hour and a half. These are 20-minute episodes. And then also finished Attack on Titan Season 2, which just kind of just stopped. There wasn't really an end to it. They just stopped putting out episodes, so... I'm assuming there's going to be another season coming. And then the kids have been watching Steven Universe, and I've just been catching random episodes of it as they've been watching it. And from what I've seen, it's actually a pretty solid little show. I had to check to see if the dad character was voiced by Jack Black, just with all the music and the kind of the vocal stylings that he did. He's not, but it very Jack Black-esque. So yeah, Doctor Who's over, so you can watch it now, Mark.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
And yeah, Broadchurch this season, instead of murder, has a sexual assault case, so that's decent to mix it up. And David Tennant isn't being quite as Scottish as he has been in season 1 and 2, so you can actually understand most of what he's saying.
Yeah, but is he still an ass? Because that's really he's super
Well, I
ass in
mean,
that show.
he's toned down. His daughter is living with him now. The character's daughter, and he's been in Broadchurch now for what 3 years or so, and so he's watered down. He's still a jerk. I mean, that's just the personality of the guy. He's still going to be a jerk regardless, but it's much more tamer, much more tame. Then of course the big event of the last 2 weeks, the release of Spider-Man: Homecoming. That is a movie. If you have even a slight interest in superheroes or Spider-Man or even Dave, help me out. I'm blanking. Thank you. Movies. You should go see this thing because it is a work of art. It is, even though isn't a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie all at the same time. It's up there in the top 3 level of quality and story and everything. It was a nice salve on the wound left by Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So.
Man, you were harsh on that movie.
Oh,
You are super harsh on that movie.
I am legitimately and completely fairly harsh on that piece of mud that they threw together.
Dude.
I'm seriously considering not picking up the Blu-ray. That's how bad it is. Yes, the back half of the movie is much better than the front half, but still. I'll get the Blu-ray, but not going to be happy about it. And then just going through I had a box of Amazing Spider-Mans from the period where it was coming out 3 times a month, and that was also about the time I was leaving the Air Force. So I had about 2/3 of a short box that I'd never read. They just sat in there with the flaps open on the bag, and so
What was the storyline?
Well, there's been several. Gauntlet, One More Day. That was one more. It's the conclusion to it was right, whatever the storyline right before Brand New Day was, where they finally revealed what happened with the timeline reset and why things were the way they were. And he and Mary Jane finally close things off, and then he goes into Big Time, which leads into Spider Island. You asked.
I did.
So got that finished off, and then I've got this stack of new comics here that need to get read, and all this other stuff that's lying all over here that needs to get organized and boxed. And I'm down to 2 short boxes left, so I'm going to have to put in an order for some more. Yeah.
Kate, how about you?
Well, I've been working a lot, so I haven't had time to play much. Injustice 2 Mobile, and today I started playing Final Fantasy 12.
Well, this is as good a time as any to talk about it. I know you're early on, but what are your impressions so far?
Well, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's hard to believe that this is a PS2 game. It really did a really good job up-resing it.
I was super worried because in all the pre-release videos, something was horribly wrong with their faces. I don't know what. Like they were shaded or something weird. So I was really worried about that.
There still is some, especially on Vaughn's face, it's really noticeable, but
most everybody looked good when I started it up.
It's also a stylistic choice because they almost look illustrated, as opposed to just straight CG. But yeah, the score sounds great because it was reorchestrated. The quality of life stuff is really good, actually. The like the speeding up, the running, because the environments are really big. They're like mini MMO environments, and the putting the map on top of the screen with just the click is really, really helpful when you're dungeon crawling. But yeah, no, I'm not very far. I just got Balthier and Fran into my party. So...
Well, congratulations, you're done. You got the best character.
Nope.
complete.
Nope. I mean, I like Balthier, but nope. Bosch and Larsa are the two best characters for me. But, no, I think a lot of people are going to realize that this game is a lot better than it got credit for when it was released. Because we're now removed from, you know, the preconceived notions of what it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are going to realize that it's actually one of the better Final Fantasies, and I posted this on Facebook that it's really sad that we probably will never see a full Ivalice game again. They're doing like an Ivalice raid in Final Fantasy 14 now, which is like, and Ramza is going to be in Dissidia, so it's not like they're forgetting about them completely, but with Matsuno not being there anymore, I don't think we'll actually see a full game like, you know, another Final Fantasy Tactics or another Vagrant Story or anything like that, which is I'm really sad about, because playing these games, it makes me realize how much I like that world. And it's like, I was going to say Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones, but I think actually they came into conception about the same time, because people forget that the Game of Thrones books are actually, you know, 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same sort of political... I saw it in a review of it that when you're in an Ivalice game, it feels like you're just seeing a sliver of history, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's happening before and after, and as opposed to like most of the other Final Fantasies where it's a cataclysmic event where you're in the center of it, where it's a whole world and you're just kind of experiencing it in this segment, which I really, really like, because one of the things that makes Final Fantasy VIII my favorite is that the world feels more vibrant than some of the other ones. Like, there's people that just walk past that you can't talk to, and it's obvious, you know, it's like, oh, it feels like they have other things to do that don't involve you, and I liked that about it. And the cities seemed that there were screens that you weren't seeing, and it was actually a much bigger town, and it was just like kind of skipping ahead of the things like residential streets you didn't need to see. And the same with Ivalice. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's just there to make the world feel lived in, and some of it has nothing to do with you, which I really, really like. I also really like the dialogue in the Ivalice games when the localization is good, because obviously the first Final Fantasy Tactics, the localization was not good, and the plot was a garbled mess just because of how, you know, they speak in very formal, old-fashioned speech. But linguistically, even the dialogue is really interesting. Like, the turns of phrases they use and everything is just... I like hearing people talk in these games. So I'm really excited to play through this game again. I'm excited to go through Trials mode. That's new. I haven't touched that at all. And it's also a good chance, because none of us experienced the international version with the Zodiac board. And it left me, I know with Vaughn and Pinello, I was like sitting there for like 20 minutes, just like, what am I going to do? Because once you choose a board, you can't unchoose it, right? So I was just like, I don't know what I want to do. So I was like writing down, you know, job subclasses, combinations, like what do I want these characters to be? And I was kind of freaking out about it.
Well, I watched an interview with the creator, and he was saying that the reason that they went back, the reason they went back and did, they didn't even want international on the remastered version, not this one, but the original international
way back in
version,
2006 or 7 or whatever.
Because they wanted international usually is like extra DLC, and they were actually changing the way they played the game. And so they were going to name it something else, but at the last minute they got international in. But it is the smallest font international that's ever been on a Final Fantasy game. And so they completely revamped it. And he said he wanted people to make choices because they didn't have time to get it in before release, the job system. And what they saw was everyone was making the exact same character pretty much, because there was nothing restricting them as to which things they picked off of the license.
Kind of like the sphere grid. Like, once you got enough of the lock spheres, you could just max out the whole thing for everybody, right?
Right. Well, I am absolutely loving the fully orchestrated soundtrack. Although
it sounds amazing.
I will say that I keep flipping it back to the old one, which is samples, which is still amazing to me. Because
I haven't listened to it yet. Does it still sound really good?
Yeah, but it's still orchestra samples, So it's like it's like an '80s throwback for me. You know,
Yeah.
where's the cardboard and the breakdancers? Because that's what I think of when I listen to it. But it's a little bit elevated above that, but not much. So I like keep flipping back and forth because I'm amused by it. But man,
One thing too, when I was saying that I think this game's going to get a lot more people being like, "Why didn't I play this game? This game is great." As far I know that Vaughn gets a lot of shit for being a bad main character. He's not as bad as the reputation he's gotten, but he's still the worst character out of the 6.
yeah. Well, at the time this came out, people would ask me what it.
He's because of interference from Square.
Yeah.
Like because they wanted, the typical Japanese teenage protagonist, right? He wasn't even going to be in there at all. Like Balthier would have been the main character.
Curse them for not doing that. But I digress.
But he's not as horrible as everyone says he is. It's just out of the 6, everyone else is far more interesting than he is. Like everyone else
agreed.
is really good. Like Ash is an amazing character, Balthier's an amazing character, Fran's an amazing character. All of these other characters are amazing, and he's just kind of there.
When the game originally came out, I used to tell people it was Final Fantasy XI offline. Because it really is. The combat system is Final Fantasy XI through and through. The difference is that you can set the gambits so that you actually create this really complicated and very efficient loop of actions for the characters to take with branching paths depending on what's going on. And the funny part is I think that we have criticized games since Final Fantasy XI for playing themselves, if you will. And this game really does it a lot. I mean, it gets to the point where your main character can stand there and the rest of the party kills everything.
You can, but at the same time, it's like you have to set up all those gambits, and it's like
you do.
You are playing the game. It's just you're playing it in menus,
right?
And then just seeing the results,
which I love.
Yeah,
it's my favorite.
I usually like to keep my main character gambits off, like whoever I'm controlling, and then the other 2 gambits on.
Yeah, that's how I do it. Same thing.
Yeah. You can do all 3 of them. Some people do, and then it's like, oh, you're not actually playing the game. It's like, no, you have to set all those gambits.
Matt would
then you have
just
to change them.
Matt would tear his hair out. The remaining of it, he would be like, why do you have a game that you never play? You just watch it. That would be the epitome of death for you, would it not, Matt?
It'd be close. Because
I know you get really aggravated about that kind of thing.
I do, but again, I never got as far into 12 as I wanted to because I was, I don't even know how far in. Not very. It was after you met Ash for the second time, I think. And that's when my PlayStation 3, which I was playing it on at the time, got Yellow Light of Death. So I lost my save file, and I just never went back and tried to redo all that. So I don't have a full scope of the game. I had only really kind of played with the gambits very lightly, to just enough to, I kind of did them at Kingdom Hearts level. You attack, you heal. And that was basically like the level I got to.
You don't have to make it super complicated. And if you don't want to use them, you don't have to. You can control all 3 characters.
Yeah.
Are you going to pick this up?
I don't know.
It's technically not a new game.
It is technically. I was just going to say that it violates. I mean, it gets around your ban.
But it is the international version, which does have the gambits, which, from what I understand, or not the gambits, but has the job system, from which I understand does kind of fundamentally change it, especially late in the game when a lot of people were just gambiting through the whole thing. Now you have to pay a little more attention, from what I understand, unless you're super over leveled. I'm sure then it's fine.
Well,
but
you can't level as much as you did in that other game, because in the first version they still had the license boards like they do now. It's just you could use all of them as opposed to just 2.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm still playing The Witcher, man. And I've got Until Dawn and Life is Strange on deck right after that already to try to plow through. So I don't know, maybe eventually, but right now it's not looking good.
Nice.
Also, just a fun fact, I was delighted when I found out that Bosch has the same voice actor as the guy who does Reaper's voice in Overwatch.
Interesting. That's the original. That's the original VA too. That or is that
Yeah. It's the original VA.
So Dave, are you gonna? Why am I asking? Never mind.
Yeah, no.
Although your excuses are rapidly running out on what kinds of games you can and can't play.
This is very true.
Yeah, you can't give the excuse, I don't have time for that anymore because of Zelda.
Yep.
I don't know. Zelda's still eating up a lot of time.
I don't play sweeping open world games anymore because you're playing Zelda.
Yeah, but Zelda, like everybody said, it's a light version of that. It's
Right.
You're
Right.
harvesting poop.
You're harvesting poop and
hoarding to upgrade all your
hoarding
armor.
up. Yeah, you're crafting and hoarding. There's no light version there.
These are pretty core mechanics here.
You're min-maxing the game so that you can max out your stamina for climbing.
well, yeah,
There's no
I did that
light-
a long time ago.
Yeah, no light version there.
Yeah, like I said, it's a light version of that type of game.
No,
So-
it's not. Uh-oh, Matt died.
Uh,
He was so distraught and had a question that he matrixed away.
No, you're going to be picking flowers in.
Oh.
I heard yogurt and flowers. That's what I
Yeah.
heard. Yogurt and flowers.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like where that was going at all.
So Kate, I know you're playing Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. Anything else that you're playing?
Haven't had time.
Understood. Well, I was going to go to Dave next, but he just got up and walked away. Yay. What were we saying about professionalism right before the show? Is fantastic. You're up, Dave. You
Perfect
walked away
timing.
right as I threw to you.
That's awesome. Hi,
Hi.
Zelda. It's been disgusting. Although I did take it's been a rough. This week's been kind of rough. So I actually haven't played much in the past couple days. But I actually picked it up right before we were playing here, and I'm taking a little vacation, taking a long weekend. So I set up map points of places I need to go and knock out certain things. So I have a plan of attack to go through the weekend. It's sad.
So are you prepped for your mini vacay?
Not totally, no. I'm just kind of gonna do it in the morning.
You're gonna last.
So much I
minute
love
that.
you. So much I love you guys. So, have we talked since the DLC was released?
No.
Okay. So they released the Zelda DLC, and it's solid. It's good. It's good stuff. They added in some great features. Like there's the one feature I love is it shows you your path that you've taken over the past 200 hours of gameplay. So you can see exactly where you've been and not been in the game. So if you're like, oh, I don't know why I haven't found anything recently, you can just go in and look and see, wide open spaces of where you haven't looked, where you haven't even, crossed at all. So that's real handy. They added in some extra equipment and everything, so I got all that stuff already. Couple really useful ones being the poop finder mask, which is awesome. It starts shaking your face whenever there's poop around. So that's real handy since there's so much poop in the game.
That's so weird. I thought we said they were seeds.
No, they're poop.
Well, they're called seeds.
Yeah, they're called seeds, and in the description it says they have a really distinct smell.
And the outline is basically the poop emoji.
When you collect all of them, you get a golden piece of poop. It's safe to say it's poop. You're a poop peddler. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Collecting poop.
There is no light version.
Yeah. Yeah.
With that description, there is no light version.
I don't see myself collecting all of the poo, but I do see myself getting enough to unlock all of the item slots.
A pie company.
Yeah. So you need them to unlock weapon slots. For your shields, your bows.
Okay, I'm gonna bite on this one. How does collecting poop make you better at storing weapons?
Because you sell the poop to a magic thing that makes big poops, and he has maracas.
Is he a dung beetle?
No.
Fail.
No, he's not a dung beetle. He's just another one of these things that poop. But he's a much bigger version of it.
Should have been.
And he has maracas, and he dances. And I like seeing the dance, so I like giving him poop to make him dance. And then he... This is all real, too, by the way. I am not even making any of this up.
Also nightmare fodder. I'm just putting that out there.
So you give him poop, he dances, shakes maracas, sings a little song, and the next thing you know, you can carry an extra sword. And that's awesome.
See, this correlation cause and effect thing does not make sense to me.
Well, to be fair, haven't you ever had a giant poop and you felt like 5 pounds lighter? Carrying a sword because you're not as weighted down.
I have to say
That's the best explanation yet.
That's way better than anything.
Simultaneously, we've hit a brand new low. So
no,
yes,
this is not a brand new low. This is the game. This is the game.
We may have cracked the mystery of the Korok seeds.
So
they're a laxative.
So the only thing I haven't done on the DLC is the Master Sword trials. I'm saving that to the end because I'm kind of just addicted to maxing out my armor right now, which is quickly coming to a close.
This doesn't have any of the same characteristics as every other open world, massive RPG.
Yeah,
it totally sounds like the light version. Yeah,
totally.
Well,
totally Skyrim. You have no excuse now.
Yeah, but there's like,
at least
it's even got Legend of Zelda gear. So
yeah,
what's that?
It even has Legend of Zelda gear now.
What, Skyrim?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The
Switch version.
Yeah, when he said there, I was just like, well, I don't have to worry about it because the only system I'm playing is the Switch, so like I don't have to worry about it. And Matt was like, yeah, there's a version coming out for the Switch, and it's gonna have Zelda stuff in it. And I was like, I said some things that I can't say now. But that's how bad it was. It kicked Matt off the internet just by my words. They were so horrible. So I collected all the new gear that you can get. I did all those missions already. So that was fun. I obtained the actual the new Zelda amiibo. They were all store exclusives this time around. There was 3 of them that came out. One was Best Buy, one was Amazon, and another was GameStop. So I just went on eBay and bought Japanese versions of them because people don't care about them. It's all the same anyway, so made it a lot easier for me because there was no chance of seeing that stuff in the wild.
Right.
So
it's almost like a SNES classic.
Yeah, Nintendo needs to stop that.
Or a Switch.
Yeah, or Switch.
There
were Switches on Amazon the other day.
Ah.
Hey, Dave did point me to a cache of Switches, but I was on
Which were apparently actually attainable because
yeah.
our dear friend Ian got one, and
But
I think he's playing it right now.
I was not able to avail myself of it this time. Did you play anything else?
No. We did watch some stuff though.
What did you watch?
So I totally binged on Rick and Morty.
Oh, blah 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 dub dub.
Exactly. I'm really angry at people for not telling me.
Oh, shut up! We have been telling you. We've been telling you for a while, and you're like,
You did not stress. You did not stress how much I would enjoy that show.
It is the darkest cartoon I've ever watched.
Yes. Which was awesome.
And when you think it's as dark as it can possibly get,
it
manages to go another couple levels.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, any cartoon that ends out their season arc with 9-inch nails is by far, by me, like the best way that you can end a cartoon season.
That one, yeah, I love that episode.
Yeah. It's great.
So yeah, there's people really needed to, say like, hey, Dave, this really is, a show up your alley. You need to watch this. So I'm all caught up and ready to go. I actually kind of like doing it this way because apparently it's been on for a while and I didn't realize how much of a stretch there were between seasons.
So Daniel had been bothering me to watch it for the longest time, and I'm like, I'm not a big fan of alcohol, and I'm not a big fan of meanness is a good way to say it. So I had like avoided it. And I ended up like, I watched the first 3 of them and I was like, I guess I'll finish it out. And then by the time I finished season 2, I was like, I kind of hate myself for liking this, but this is like really good. It is very, very good. It's one of the best shows on TV.
Now I'm a little concerned about your opinion of me because after those comments, you're like, I hate alcohol and meanness, so I don't know why I like this show. And I'm like, I love alcohol and meanness.
Well, I mean, you're just East Coast, so the meanness is just a given.
Well,
so,
I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
technically he's New Jersey, so that's actually even more implied.
No, we spent most of my life in Philly.
It's no Boston. That's still the like angriest place, like base level I've ever been to.
How can you tell? Love you, Ian. Sorry, just saying. Accents.
I just like how I helped him get like a Switch, and the first thing he posts after that is like crapping on the Eagles. I was just like, really?
So, did you watch anything else?
He sent me a picture, so he's this is going to be pay at pause right now. So
yeah. The Spider-Man: Homecoming, we watched that. Awesome. Everybody's got to check it out. It ended up being actually better than I expected. And the way everybody was like starting to hype it up right before I saw it, I was a little scared. But it delivered. Really loved it. Really loved the characters. Really loved the actors that they had. Playing everything. Buddy of mine that I saw with, he actually hated Ned.
Really?
Yeah, we disagreed on that one.
How can you hate Ned?
That's what I said.
You could watch Peter and Ned talk for like hours, and that would be a fine movie.
Yeah, I don't know why he hated it. I'm a little worried because like maybe he hates fat sidekicks because which worries me because I'm kind of his fat sidekick. So I think that might just say something about our friendship more than anything else.
It was
wow.
He has hair.
This has become a Rick and Morty episode, actually.
Yeah.
Did a good job.
So so that's awesome. And then what else did I catch? Oh, I started watching Castlevania. I didn't get through the whole season because it's so extensive.
Yeah.
If only you could have delivered that punchline.
Yeah. So we're a few of these in already. But Trevor,
I'll be honest. Aside from the shortness of it, I overall was not impressed. they really should have kept that to like, they could have done that in 45 minutes and been done with it in one thing and said this is just a prologue.
Well, Netflix is hiring for an anime, the person who's going to help shape what anime looks like on their platform right now. So just FYI, if you want to apply, Matt, you could. You'd have to relocate to San Francisco, by the way. But
Well, because when I think of anime, I think of that.
Yeah.
wow,
I don't know. I'm not quite sure how to take
wow,
that. So
wow!
I'm
This
just
has turned
gonna sit
into
here.
a Rick and Morty episode. Jesus. All right,
Damn. Do I have to shove a fruit up my butt?
that is a possibility.
But but Trevor Belmont is now my new spirit asshole. I love that guy. He's okay in my book.
The bar sequence was probably the best part of that whole thing.
I have not seen it yet. I want to. I have not seen it yet.
We're not ruining anything.
No.
Okay.
Trevor Belmont in a bar. That's all you need to know. He's great.
I just want to know if the
I just
cross
wish-
actually works like a boomerang.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
So did you watch anything else, Dave?
I'm trying to think. I thought there was something else, but it's not.
Did you finish up Doctor Who?
Oh yeah, and I finished up Doctor Who. That was
Okay.
really good. I'm really sad to see him go.
I won't be. I mean,
Yeah.
I like him okay now, but I'm ready to see what's next. Let's see. Let's start with what I saw. I've seen a lot of Supergirl because that's the show that we've been working on lately. But right before I fell deathly ill, I went and saw Baby Driver, and
Yeah, I got to see that.
it is phenomenal. It's not like when I think of Edgar Wright stuff, Shaun of the Dead is kind of what sticks out for me, especially that style of filming that he has throughout that movie of, hand on the door, open the door, hear the door sound, door closes, cut. The first 15 minutes of the movie is a masterclass on how to set up a frame and a shot, but also bury so many Easter eggs inside it that the audience is going to be tricked without realizing it. The soundtrack of the movie is another character, and the way that he incorporates not just the music but the lyrics into the physical space is so subtle that I'm pretty sure 90% of the audience that was watching it never noticed that he was burying the lyrics everywhere on the screen, and it was amazing. I've never seen anything like that, and if you watch it, the acting is phenomenal. The stunts are all practical, which in this day and age is completely not normal. So you're talking, they're actually doing the car chase stunts and all that type of stuff. Really interesting, and great acting and good directing. So and the soundtrack is phenomenal. It's kind of like Tom Holland. Like the first time that I found out he was British, when I watched an interview and he was very British, and I was like, I thought he was American. Now I'm having the opposite effect with the female lead, because she was in Downton Abbey, which I watched with my wife over and over again, and she has an American accent in this one, and it's like brain's gonna explode. But other than that, very, very good. Everybody did a great job. So I definitely recommend checking out Baby Driver if you like action movies at all.
I'm hoping to see that next week. I think that's going to be we're getting a babysitter and we're going to go out to see a movie, and we're going to try and make it that.
That would be a good choice.
So I'm looking forward to that.
And it is a love story, so keep that in mind. It's a love story with explosions. Best way I can.
Yeah, it's a genre bender, just like a lot of his movies are.
Yeah. Other than that, I've watched the last Christmas's Doctor Who episode while I was sick, and the Santa Claus episode. And I like the way that played out, so that was good. It made me thank my lucky stars that I don't have to see Clara again for an entire season's worth of episodes. So I'm good there. Other than that, I played Star Trek Online, Clash Royale. I got my 4th platinum ever with Marvel Heroes Online, which is now my most rare trophy. Because who gets a platinum in an MMO? The bad part is that I have 100% extinguished all content that they had on offering. So I literally have nothing left to do in the game at all. Which for a month after launch is a bad sign.
Aside pay, well, we're actually only like a week after launch, right? And you still got thousands of dollars worth of characters you could buy, right? I mean, so you're not done.
No, I have one character that I've unlocked with Splinters that I have not leveled up, but I have zero interest in unlocking any of the other remaining characters that I have not already unlocked in the game. The only one that I have not leveled up that I did want is the Incredible Hulk, because they actually did some things that those of us who've been playing do not like. The biggest one is, let's say Matt started his game now, right? And did you make it into the open beta?
Yeah, we played for a bit.
Okay, so let's say it was Kate. Kate came on now, starting fresh. They only give her 225 splinters.
Ooh.
Which means she can only buy one of 4 characters. The Incredible Hulk, Nova, Squirrel Girl, and there's one other. But it's not good. It's not a good character. So let's put it that way. So pretty much now all new characters are Hulks. So that's all you see in the game are Hulks. And it's really kind of frustrating that they did that.
So it's Wolverine all over again.
Yeah, kind of. My original problem with the game is now the Incredible Hulk all over again. It's all, and we've completely exhausted the content. I was rolling with a crew of a couple other people, and they're right behind me. They should be getting the platinums this week, and then they will officially be out of content as well. So we kind of expected. So I will say that I did something crazy, because I never do that. On the 30th of June was the last day to purchase the Fantastic Four characters in the PC version of the game. It was also the launch of the game on consoles, the full launch. So our hope was that they would launch the Fantastic Four characters on the console for that one day, so that people would have a chance to last minute buy them and then never be able to buy them again. Because that was the part of the licensing renegotiation that Gazillion, the publisher, made with Marvel. Is in order to have it on consoles, they had to remove all Fantastic Four stuff from the game. They didn't have to remove it from the game. It's not like you can't play the characters. They just can't sell it anymore. And so I went ahead and I jumped on to the PC version and I bought Silver Surfer because he was the character I was waiting for them to bring over from the PC version. I wanted to main Silver Surfer, and they did not bring any of them to console at launch. So I went onto the PC and I bought Surfer, and I also bought Havoc, who I can use as a team up to summon at any time to have Havoc fight for me. Friggin' Havoc. And after playing a little bit of the PC version and seeing how much more there is on the PC version versus the stripped down version that's on the consoles, I was really hoping that at launch they would start porting some of that over and give us some new things to do. And so, yeah, you're right, Matt. Even though it's only been like a week or now 2 weeks since launch, I'm still a little dismayed that they're going to start losing player base. I mean, yeah, I get not everybody is like me, but there's not enough to keep people around for endgame. So I'm worried about that. But that's all we have to talk about there. And so, to that end, in order to have something to do before Final Fantasy came out, I bought Elite Dangerous. And I will very quickly say that Elite Dangerous is the No Man's Sky that we were promised. So it has bases, it has vehicles, it has planet surfaces, it has mining, it has trading, it has pirating, it has
Space hookers?
Um,
I'm not admitting to it.
so
Oh my god, it's because it's so.
not really, but there are people that you transport right now. My main profession is space Uber for the rich and famous. And there are some people that are wanted for certain things, and I have seen a couple descriptions of what they were wanted for that would be a yes to your question.
That's hilarious.
And it's the game, like, I thought it was big until I realized that it is actually a supposedly one-to-one recreation of our entire galaxy. So you zoom out on this map, galaxy map, and it has the same effect as No Man's Sky. You end up going so far out, you see the swirl of stars. Right now, there are missions that we actually can't do because they are so far away that the technology we have in our ships does not allow us to go that far. So it's pretty impressive. I like it for all the reasons that Dave and Matt would think I would. There's a lot of statistical tracking comparing what does this drive do versus this drive, and which one would be an ultimate beneficial gain to my per jump trip.
And there's a 3% sale every third Tuesday of the month.
So the interesting thing about the game is that there is no DLC. I don't want to say there's no DLC. There's no mechanical DLC. The only thing you can buy in their online store is paint skins for your ships and bobbleheads for your dashboard, stuff like that, which I could care less about, to be honest. I did buy a couple like paint jobs for the ship that I use, but that's it. But
what kind of bobbleheads?
They have all kinds, actually. It's pretty interesting stuff. But
now I'm interested.
Yeah, and so the interesting, or the not interesting thing is, when I started the game, I came this close from quitting. I have not been so close. I don't think I've ever rage quit or rage thrown a controller, but trying to dock a goddamn ship in this game, when you had to actually take gravitational spin of the station as well as all three axes of movement into account at the same time, I was not a happy person. It took me 10 minutes to dock a ship, and because it took me so long, then I got my landing privileges revoked, and then they opened fire on me because I wasn't leaving fast enough and killed me. And this was like within the first 12 minutes of the game. I was not very happy about that, but then I realized that there was a docking computer that I could buy for pretty inexpensive amount of money, and I installed that, and now it auto docks for me, and I got no problems with the game whatsoever. In fact, I bought a new ship the other day and forgot to buy a docking computer for it, and I had to dock myself, and it was the first time since the beginning of the game that I had to dock, but I totally swooped in and landed without a hitch, because I guess I've watched the computer do it so many times I had it figured out. But the game is, it's actually really, it's one of those things that it can be a little frustrating at first, but it's very much like an onion, and the more layers you peel, there's more interesting things to do and see. We thought the game was just about doing missions and making money. Well, it turns out that you can actually start. They've mixed Vampire the Masquerade in this, so there's a lot of political stuff that goes on. So you end up like right now, I'm staying at one dock and doing missions only at that dock, and it's raising my influence and reputation with the people at the dock, and so they're giving me better and better missions. But it's also raising my sector with the overlord of that quadrant, and that's allowing me to actually start voting on what the overlord should do in that quadrant. Should we expand territory? Should we should we fight this system, etc.? And so it suddenly becomes this much larger macro game of politics and expansion and empire building on what I thought was a damn ship game. And I'm really actually enjoying those things. We're just barely scratching the surface on it, but it's pretty interesting stuff. Well, I'd say we're to mid-tier ships now. We're not to the high-tier stuff yet, but we're to mid-tier ships, and that's been like progressing the ships has been a lot of fun. Is anyone planning on picking it up besides me?
Probably not, because from what your description gave me, it sounds like there's a distinct lack of collecting poop in the game.
No, actually, that is not true. That is 100%. I have run many a mission where I had to collect poop and then take it to other stations because they need poop.
So is it like, I was just trying to say, is it like, Nibbler's space fuel from Futurama, or?
No, it's called biomass waste, I think is how they.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm like, great, I'm hauling crap, but it's making me $150,000, so who cares, right?
All right, we might be in.
Yeah, there definitely is that element to the game. Matt, no.
It'll probably end up not with the no games thing. It'll just end up too far back. I won't.
It's not a new game.
It's a new to this platform.
That may be true, but it came out in 1983 initially.
Yeah, I think this is significantly different from that enough that it just falls under a new game category.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I still want to pop back in with No Man's Sky and check out all the changes that have populated, because I know a lot of stuff has come up, and there's supposed to be a new big something coming based on this ARG that's ridiculous. Have you read any of that? What this whole ARG thing is? How do people? I don't even know. I don't even get it. But
I'm going to say something very unprofessional. I would punch Sean Murray. Communicate with your friggin' player base and tell them what's going on. Don't hide it in ARG games.
Well, they're stalling. It's a stall tactic. That's all.
Well, the whole game has been a stall tactic, and it's really frustrating. They should have addressed the issues as soon as the game released. They should have come out and said, "This is what we were aiming for. This is what we actually had time to do. Here's the roadmap for getting there. We're sorry that we couldn't reach what we promised." But
God, that was so disappointing. I really wish I waited on that one. I feel bad that I funded anything in that guy's life right now.
Yeah, but that's kind of why I wanted to try Elite Dangerous. I've been wanting to do it for a while because they have a VR version for the Vive, but I knew this was the type of game that I did not want to get for VR because I'd likely spend hundreds of hours with it. And I don't know if it has an in-game counter, but I'm pretty sure I'm up over 75 hours with it already. And it's been what I had hoped No Man's Sky would be.
What type of time dilation tools do you have, son?
No sleep?
That doesn't even add up. You fit 400 hours into 250 hours worth a week. I don't understand what you do.
I'm bigger on the inside? I don't know.
Something. I don't know.
Well, actually, I'm bigger on the outside, but whatever.
It's what happens when you don't have kids.
That is 100% true.
All this free time. No, dude.
He's watched 14 different series from beginning to end, played thousands of hours of Marvel, and watched...
That's it.
Because he doesn't have to worry about keeping something alive except for the dog, and that's
I
really
don't either. Mine are self-sufficient at this point.
But you
That's
do
not
also
true. That's not true. You're always running them around to, archery and all that kind of stuff. Like, that takes your time. That takes like whole weekends sometimes.
Yeah.
and that's whole weekends that I would play.
Yeah,
And I
nonstop.
will also point out the fact that I was almost dead last week, so I was not at work. So do you think I was like asleep? No, I mean I had pneumonia and bronchitis.
No, that's how we
slept
knew
a
you were
little.
alive. We saw
Yeah.
you playing Marvel.
Yeah. Although that is a lie because my wife can be watching Netflix and it still says I'm playing Marvel. So just FYI.
Oh yeah, that's true. Remember, you guys were telling me I was doing stuff, and I'm like, no, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I
But
was
yeah,
like, I was watching Amazon.
that's mostly it, Matt. It's just, we come home, we do a couple things, and then, she says, "Oh, I don't want to do anything else," and I jump on and play, and I play until 2 in the morning, and then I go to sleep, and I get up and I go to work. It got awful early in the morning, and I sleep on the train. I say, "Hi, everybody, good morning," and then I'm out for an hour, 45 minutes, whatever the delay is. But no, I have not watched that much stuff. That's also part of that. I've watched a couple episodes of Supergirl, as I mentioned earlier. I think you might have been gone for that part, but I've not really hardly watched anything. So let's get to the news. There's not a lot. News kind of sucked.
It's that lull between E3 and Gamescom.
Yeah, and there is a massive lull right now. Let me see. Twitter.com/Gamersledge is where you can go to see our news feed if you would so desire. And we'll just scroll on back for a couple weeks.
I don't even bother with the news. There's been nothing.
There were a couple things that I did want to talk about. Should we talk about the Redacted coming back, or is that a spoiler?
I would say it's spoiler for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
probably pretty spoiler territory.
All right, let's see.
It does
Spotify
seem-
like video game
It does seem
service?
kind of shady. Well, you can talk about one thing. It's not spoiler. It does seem kind of shady that they're not thinking that the character can carry the movie on her own, so they have to pair it up, with somebody known, and that kind of sucks.
I would have said that Wonder Woman would have been far less interesting without Steve, or without. Oh my God, my brain stopped working.
Stephen Trevor.
No, it's not Stephen Trevor. It's Trevor. Is it
Trevor Steven.
Shut up. Go. I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
Steven Trevor.
It's not.
Yes,
not.
it is.
No, it's
Pine.
not apparently. It's
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine.
Yeah, but that's not his name. It's not Steve.
Yes,
Trevor.
it is. Yes, it is.
no, it's not. I'm wrong. I'm always wrong about this stuff.
Don't listen to the person who has a Wonder Woman tattoo.
Can you just look it up so you can tell us we're all right?
Why does that not seem
Looking
right?
it up.
Why does it not seem right? Because you were on death's door for the past week and a half.
I
Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine.
Okay, I
I'm
had it
sorry,
right the first
Dave
time.
and Kate.
I'm sorry, David Cage. Jesus
Thank
Christ.
you.
I don't know why I'm thinking it's wrong. Anyways, the movie would not have been as good without him. And so I don't think it's necessarily that she can't carry the movie. I think it's that she's going to need somebody to play off.
Well, and I mean, a lot of people were worried about Robert Downey Jr. being in Homecoming too, and that played out just fine. So
That's different. Nobody ever complains about RDJ. Shut your dirty whore mouth.
all right, there's the East Coast thing we were just talking about.
Yeah. Rocket League hits 33 million players, 1.6 million a day. Couldn't happen to a nicer game. That game is awesome. Meh. Meh. We talked about that. Lawbreakers is getting a disc release, still at the $29.99 price point. So I'm pretty psyched about that.
I have not heard a wider range of opinions on a game than I've heard on this game. Everything from this is the most pointless, worthless thing that was ever made to this is the absolute best thing ever accomplished. Yeah.
I'm interested to give it a shot. It looks interesting. Did you say you don't, Matt?
Well, it's just because there's anywhere even near consistency on it. I'm interested to try it out, but I'm not going to buy it. But it makes it all the more intriguing that the opinions on it can be so widely varied.
Oh yeah, the Tomorrow Children is being shut down. Like there was no one in both of those betas, and I was in both the betas. There was practically no one. The Tomorrow Children. It's a really interesting visual style. It's almost paper mache Russians. That's how I'd categorize it.
Okay.
But the game wasn't fun, and there was nobody there. So yeah.
How dare people want fun games?
Super Mario Run has surpassed, what did I say, 150 million? No. Where is it? 150 million downloads. So at 10% conversion, which is what they said before it was, at $10 each, that's $15 million for the game. Not bad. No. Awesome. No. Yeah, there really isn't a whole lot of news, to be honest.
I don't think we actually put it in the news feed, but there's the casting of Squirrel Girl for new.
Yeah, I started to, but I didn't get it. Who was it?
It's 8 unless you watch that other
We didn't get any of that.
show.
Still not getting any of that.
And
And then he's gone. Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yep.
I unfortunately forget the actress's name. Apparently, she's done a lot of AT&T commercials, which everybody keeps saying they know her from.
Oh, yeah.
I've actually seen her in 2 really good shows. She had a role in Silicon Valley, where she was awesome, and also she was in the runaway hit of last season, This Is Us.
Who was she in Silicon Valley?
She was Tara.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
And she played a pretty important part of kind of a mid-season arc of This Is Us, where she was really good in that. So she definitely has chops.
Yeah. Matt, you back? That'd be a no. He's faking us out with his picture. That's actually all the news, other than Horizon Zero Dawn got a new game plus mode. That's really about it. Super light 2 weeks for news. Well, I think we'll close out with our final thoughts for the day. Kate, why don't we start with you?
I was gonna say I was muted. Sorry. I was gonna say for news, Sub-Zero was released on.
Oh, that's right.
Or yesterday for Injustice 2.
Have you had a chance to play him yet?
No, but he looks really fun, and all his shaders you can do all the other ninjas.
Yeah, I did see that.
Which is nice.
Nice.
That is very nice. I am.
It makes me want gear for Mortal Kombat 11.
Well, you know that this is probably
this is definitely going to make it into Mortal Kombat.
And also, I just gotta say, I really appreciate, like, I've already given enough praise to the faces in Injustice 2 because they're incredible, but Sub-Zero looks Chinese. It's awesome.
That's
To see
awesome.
the Chinese ninja warrior whose heart is so cold.
You can quote that techno album all day, and I will never stop you. That is, I used to listen to that thing on repeat nonstop
Because
while
like
I was playing Mortal Kombat. No
Mortal
less.
Kombat X faces looked pretty good. Like compared to Injustice, like the Injustice faces are just like in another stratosphere. But like Sub-Zero looked good in MKX, but he didn't look Asian,
No.
and I like that he does very much so now.
That's gonna bring us to Matt for your final thought. Back just in time.
Yeah, my final thought is I stumbled across a little thing in the last couple of weeks that I haven't put as much time into as I want to, but it's called Oats Studio, which effort of Neil Blomkamp to bring some sci-fi horror stuff in short form out to the world. So I'm still not entirely clear the whole lineage of this, whether he's just writing everything, whether he's directing everything, or how exactly he's tied into all this. I'm still not entirely sure. But it's very interesting stuff from like kind of cheesy early 90s video game setup things to the one that released today is called Zygote. I haven't had a chance to minute it yet. It's a 20-minute sci-fi action horror film. Just really, really, really good. So this is all relatively low budget stuff, not spending tons of money on it. But if you like Neil's stuff, District 9, Chappie, I know I'm missing one there that I can't think of right off the top of my head.
It was in between there.
Was that Elysium? Was that his?
Yeah, that was him.
I
was going to say the Matt Damon one. What was that called?
Right. And then, obviously his
Matt
canceled
Damon.
Alien.
Damon.
Okay. And then, his canceled Alien film, which never really was official. But anyway, yeah, so far they've got a series.
All right.
Doesn't like Matt Damon either, sorry.
There's a series called Cooking with Bill, which is very reminiscent of that Don't Touch Me, I'm Scared, or whatever it's called.
Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. It's very reminiscent of that. But it's done like a late 80s, late night infomercial. So that's interesting. And then there's a 20-minute film, Raqqa, a 5-minute short, Firebase, a 5-minute short, God, which stars Sharlto Copley, or however you pronounce his name, from District 9 and then from Powers. And then the one that dropped today is called Zygote and stars Dakota Fanning. So he's got some decent talent coming in there and some interesting stuff. So if you liked some of his earlier works, go ahead, check that out.
I'm going to guess and say that he's
Studio,
not,
and you can board or there.
His
Dave,
internet
final
is
thoughts.
awful today.
It's not his internet, it's his laptop. It
is the laptop, because I'm on the same Wi-Fi with my phone, and my phone has absolutely zero problems.
Yeah, well, we need to get you a new laptop somehow. Because
I can just reinstall the drivers and see if that'll help.
And he's gone again. That's amazing.
Am I? I look like I'm still here.
No, you're back now.
No.
Yeah.
We're gone.
No. I'm transient that way.
Nice.
Dave, final thoughts?
The final thoughts, I have some Lego to catch up on, like you wouldn't believe.
I could take some of that off your hands.
Nah, that's not happening.
Damn, it's worth a shot. He's not drunk enough yet.
Yeah.
I don't
The
think you'd ever be drunk enough
what's that?
to get rid of your Lego. I don't think you'd ever be drunk enough.
No, that's not happening.
I could still use a
Actually,
Switch.
yeah, that's not happening either right now. I'm in a little bit of a rut. The only reason I was able to buy some Lego is because the generosity of my wife on my birthday, where I took advantage of double points and I saved up some money for that, and got the ultimate Lego Batmobile from the new movie, from the Lego movie.
Nice.
Has everybody seen that or no?
I have not. I still haven't seen the original Lego movie.
The Lego Batman movie is completely worth watching, even if you're not a fan of the stuff.
He's not.
It is just such a it's just littered with references to everything Batman in it. It's hilarious. It has
Arnett as Batman, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's great as it. It has Richard Cheese in it performing.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great. When I realized he was on the soundtrack, I was like, "What? They truly made this movie just for me."
Wow. That
Is it the Batman from the Lego movie? Is that the Batman
Yes.
character that we're following, or is it?
Yeah,
Okay, it is that Batman character.
yeah. It's definitely that Batman, and it's it's hilarious. But it references everything. It is just filthy with just all kinds of references all over the place. And it's all really well done. Like, it's actually, in the end, a really good movie, too, like, by itself. So it's definitely worth seeing. But the Ultimate Batmobile from it is a really awesome set that breaks off into, like, all these different, vehicles and stuff like that. It's a crazy, really crazy Batmobile. That's awesome. I can't wait to build that one.
Well, before I get to my final thought, I do want to actually thank our patrons. So thank you, Naomi.
I don't get a final thought?
You went first.
No, I didn't.
What?
Yeah, you said about Sub-Zero.
That was part of the news.
That was part of the news, dude.
I thought I started with you for final thoughts.
No, she was like, "Hey, I got some news," and you're like, "Oh, great, you got some news?" And she was like, "Yeah, I got some news."
Well, you can do that, and I still need to thank our patrons, but go ahead.
We're not saying you can't. We're not saying not to thank the patrons. We're just saying, please let her have her final thought before you do your awful pun.
I totally thought that I had for some reason. Like I said, I'm still recovering. I'm very out of it. Sorry. Kate, what's your final thought?
I don't even know if it's worth it anymore.
Oh, come on now.
I was supposed to say, normally you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but this week, the trade paperback version of My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix came out, and for the cover alone, this book is a must purchase. They perfectly rendered an old beat-up VHS 80s horror movie, complete with rips and old 70s stills from a horror movie onto this book. It looks like an old VHS case. It is amazing.
Nice.
Buy this book just for the cover. It's amazing.
So with that, I didn't forget anybody, right?
No, we're good now.
Okay. So I would like to thank our patrons. So thank you, Justin. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, John. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, Ian. And thank you... That's 5. I need 6. Oh, Bobby. Yeah, that one's it.
About your wife.
The one you were just looking at. Yeah.
I know. That's how I remembered, because I was like, she's over there.
Well, she did get him sick, so.
She did. As always, if you would like to support us, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/gamersledge, where for just as little as $1 a month, you can get your name on every show that we do. Oh, and I'm going to say, even though he pledged at the $1 level, thank you, Arturo. Not Turo of the podcast, but a different Arturo. So thank you for pledging. I haven't got your name on the crawl yet. I'll do that here tomorrow.
What are the odds of you knowing more than one Arturo?
See,
Yeah, I know, right?
Our Turo would never donate because that's $1 he could spend on beer.
You have no idea how correct you are.
I missed him.
I also do want to point out that episode 3 of The Well-Rounded Gamer is going up tomorrow. We've gotten lots of good feedback on that. As always, if you'd like to talk about where you'd like us to go in San Francisco for the next vlog, let us know. Turo will be showing up in one here in a while. He may be actually showing up in a couple. So
I miss him.
Those will That's
what I just said.
What, that I miss him?
No, I said that I miss him too.
Yeah.
We all miss him.
My final thought.
You should check out that Super 7 store that's in San Francisco.
What's the Super 7 store?
That store I keep telling you to check out that you never do.
Why?
It seems like it'd be a cool place.
You're lying to me. You've never brought this up to me ever.
Oh my god.
Dear Lord, here we go again. Yes, he has.
I don't know what you're talking about. Tell me about it.
Rave about JR at least twice. He's brought this up at least twice.
Okay, what is it?
It's some kind of toy store. I bought a couple of things from. They do some custom things that are crazy. Like remember those little 80s toys, the muscle wrestlers?
Yeah.
Well, they make new ones that are based off of different licenses. Mm-hmm. So there's like Masters of the Universe, Mega Man, stuff like that. But they do all kinds of like custom stuff there. So I'm curious what the place is like.
Super 7. All right, I will try and find it for you. It
Have you
may
gone
not
to
actually.
Alcatraz yet?
I have gone to Alcatraz. That's expensive, so maybe for a season finale or something. Plus,
I want a pub crawl with Turo.
That's actually going to be an episode, sort of. I'm not going to do a pub crawl. I can't do a pub crawl anymore.
It's just him being really snobby about beer.
That's exactly it. It'll be funny. My final thought for the day is, if you haven't watched it yet, you can watch Conan and Kate Upton play Cuphead. Which, Cuphead is not an easy game, and Conan is already not good at video games. So yeah, there's that. But that's the latest Clueless Gamer, and should be pretty good. So check that out. With that, that's going to bring us to the end of the show, where we end out, as we always do, a fine piece of wisdom to get you through the week.
Unquote, fine. Your definition of fine is very different from ours.
Yeah, I looked at this one and immediately thought of Dave. So.
God! Don't involve me in this.
Yeah. So. What did Batman say to Robin before they got in the car?
Don't ruin this. Don't ruin Batman for me.
Was it something sexual?
Robin, get in the car.
I could have been getting stuff done.
Could have been delivering poo.
I could have been collecting poo.
I could have been a poo.
I could have been actually getting some rest.
Rest.
I could have been reading recreationally.
Nobody does that.
No, yeah, I was gonna nobody does that at all.
What?
And
I do.
Yeah, I actually.
Her entire job relies on this being a fact.
Yeah, it relies on me having
funny.
to read books.
I actually do read. I'm reading an interesting book right now. About.
No, are you reading or Mark's version of reading, which is listening?
No, I can't do audiobooks. I don't know why. I have a hard time with audiobooks.
Okay,
it depends on the audiobook for me and the people reading it. Like, yeah, I don't know. There are certain ones I really like. There are certain ones I don't. Will Wheaton does a surprisingly good job.
For me, I don't like them because I can read faster than people can talk.
when I was traveling and had no ability to read, and I had 8 hours to drive to go somewhere,
Yeah.
they were perfect for me for that.
I just like
the
how
only
I said
reason
no
started.
ability to read, like couldn't read.
Well, you
No
know,
availability.
I had to decrease the point in reading and up the point in driving. So you know, that's how that works. So that's it for this week's
Respect potion.
episode. Thanks for watching, everyone. Until next week, game on.